and welcome to RMU Live. Today is Wednesday, October 26th. I'm Kaylee Whitlatch.
And I'm Nathan Kingston. Here's what's happening now.
2 weeks from midterm elections and a number of big races are tight. In Pennsylvania, it's the Senate race between Democrat John Fetterman and Republican Mehmet Oz. In New York, it's the battle for governor between incumbent Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul and Republican challenger Lee Zeldin. And as CNN's Jessica Dean reports, the candidates in both of these big races will face off in debates Tuesday night.
A highly anticipated Senate debate in Pennsylvania is finally here. Democratic Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman and Republican nominee Mehmet Oz to face off in their first and only debate of this campaign tonight in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Fetterman, who's still recovering from a stroke he suffered in May, will use closed captioning to read the questions and answers.
I hear and I understand everything in terms of on words, on paper, and understand what I hear. But when we're talking about very specific and having things like this, we're going to need I need captioning.
Senator Amy Klobuchar appeared alongside Fetterman at that campaign event.
All of his own words will be spoken from the heart. Now, you know, he was never a polished debater to begin with. Dr. Oz has had a show for 20-some years.
A CNN poll shows a tightening race between the two candidates, with Fetterman maintaining a very slight lead to Oz, 51% to 45%. The poll shows the economy as the #1 ranked issue among Pennsylvania voters, more than double abortion, the next ranking issue. Crime ranks 5th, with only 5% of likely voters saying it's the most important issue. For Oz, who's been endorsed by former President Donald Trump, crime has been a cornerstone of his campaign.
Biggest problem I hear in Philadelphia is lawlessness.
Releasing his plan to combat crime in the state on Monday after Fetterman lambasted him for not having one. Fetterman will receive a huge push by President Joe Biden and former President Barack Obama in the final weekend before Election Day. The two will make their only scheduled campaign appearances together in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, according to a Democratic Party official. Biden on Monday traveled to the Democratic National Committee office in Washington, D.C., and gave his closing argument to staffers.
So far, we're running against the tide, and we're beating the tide.
So far this midterm cycle, nearly 7.3 million ballots have been cast so far across 39 states, according to data from election officials and other sources. In New York, Republican candidate for governor Representative Lee Zeldin has agreed to debate Governor Kathy Hochul tonight in a race that's tightening, given growing concerns over the economy and crime.
There is a crime emergency in New York State. I have called on the governor to declare a crime emergency in New York.
Lee Zeldin saying something does not make it so. Crime has gone down under my watch.
Moving on over to the United Kingdom, the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom has been chosen. Former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak will succeed Liz Truss after Sunak's final opponent Penny Mordaunt withdrew from the race. Mordaunt said that, quote, "We all owe it to the country," end quote, to support Sunak after she was unable to secure the backing of 100 Conservative lawmakers needed to remain in the race. Sunak is the youngest in 200 years at age 42, the first person of color, and the first Hindu person to be Prime Minister. The Pennsylvania National Guard service member was killed in a training accident. The Pennsylvania National Guard announced Monday that the soldier killed in the training accident over the weekend was a native of Newcastle. Specialist Mackenzie L. Shea, 20, was killed in an accident involving 2 military vehicles. The accident happened at Fort Indiatown Gap in Lebanon County. 3 other service members involved in the accident were treated at a Hershey Medical Center. They have been since released. The accident remains under investigation.
2 people were injured in a shooting in Pittsburgh's South Side, police say. Police received reports of shots fired just after 9 p.m. on the 90th block of South 10th Street. They later determined the shots came from a vehicle at the BP gas station at 10th and East Carson Street. 2 people transported themselves to local hospitals, where one is listed under critical condition. Investigators are continuing to look into the case.
A Dilltown area man who had been missing since October 20th was found dead on Monday, according to Pennsylvania State Police. Troopers discovered the body of Hayden Robert Garefa, 19, on October 22nd in a remote wooded area of Brush Valley Township, Indiana County. The Indiana County coroner ruled Garefa death a homicide. Investigators determined the Garefa had been kidnapped, leading to the homicide, both of which occurred on the afternoon of October 20th. An autopsy revealed Gareffa was beaten and stabbed multiple times. State police say all 8 suspects, 7 adults and 14-year-old female, have been arrested.
A Monroeville man is behind bars after an alleged shooting during a road rage incident on Sunday. 23-year-old Matthew Alfaro has been charged with several crimes, including 2 counts of felony aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and felony carrying a firearm without a license. Police say the incident happened on Monroeville Boulevard near the Monroeville Police Department. Just after 5 p.m., the victim said that he accidentally cut off Alfaro, and Alfaro followed him and gestured for him to pull over. After thinking he lost Alfaro, the victim heard a loud popping noise and felt a sharp burning pain on the right side of his back. As of Monday afternoon, Alfaro is still waiting to be arraigned. He also had a warrant for not appearing in court in Penn Hills at the time of his most recent arrest.
An artist opened an exhibit highlighting trauma and healing. In his interactive multimedia exhibit, Pittsburgh-based artist Ime Alaquiva explores the depths of trauma and the journey of healing for 10 women whose sons' deaths have garnered national attention. Alaquiva said that the exhibit is aimed at starting uncomfortable conversations about systematic violence. Alaquiva incorporated photographs, film, and augmented reality to tell stories of these women and their children. After the break, we get a taste of what is to come for RMU's musical, The Rocky Horror Show, this weekend.
And find out how students can get community service hours for playing video games. All this and more after the break on RMU Live.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
I can't wait to get back to field trips with my school.
Not having to think about putting on a mask.
I really can't wait to get back to life, really.
I miss all my friends. I miss taking pictures in school.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
COVID-19 vaccines are available, and they're the first step to safely getting back to things we miss most. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
It's time to make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines. The dangerous new Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as the original virus and can affect anyone. Right now, 9 out of 10 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID are among unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated might save your life, and there's now an option that's fully approved by the FDA. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But there's a lot more to say, like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Let's take a look at what's happening here on campus.
And stay tuned later for today's weather. Now, moving on, we had a great event called Pelt to Delt that happened this weekend, and I think it was a good thing for all of campus to get into. It was at the gazebo here at RMU, and it just happened yesterday. So if you missed it, you missed it. But I know they had special guest Jeff James, the police chief, also got involved.
Get ready to do the Time Warp again with RMU Colonial Theater. Tomorrow marks opening night for the cast of the Rocky Horror Show in Massey Theater. The story follows wholesome and innocent couple Brad and Janet meeting manic genius alien Dr. Frankenfurter and his gang of kooky cohorts. The sci-fi rock and roll musical is a cult classic that is known for its audience participation. Performances begin tomorrow night at 7:30 and continue Friday and Saturday nights at 7:30 with an additional performance at 10 p.m. on Saturday. Tickets are $15 and are available online at rmu.edu/theater. The student discount code is Rocky2022.
Another event that happened last night was the 16th annual Creepy Conference and Costume Contest. It was held at the Wheatley Atrium from 7 to 8:30. There were presentations by faculty and students, presenters, and they hosted a costume contest with a gift card as a prize and a raffle to support Sigma Tau Delta, which was $50 prize for the best costume. Student attendees were also eligible for set credit in the Arts and Creativity category to all students who attended and complete a reflection.
This Thursday, Residence Hall Association and the First Year Studies program host their Smashing Goals Fall Fest. This will take place at the Residence Life office from 6 to 8 p.m. Thursday. RHA and FYSP will feature canvas painting, a non-alcoholic mix-off, and more.
This past Thursday, RMU held the event Madness at the UPMC Event Center. The event was held to preview the men's and women's basketball teams. The event showed off and introduced every player on both of the basketball teams as well as their coaches. Madness also had small competitions like a three-point contest and a dunk contest judged by the RMU Madam President Patrick. Madness was also broadcast by our own Colonial Sports Center live from the event center that covered the event that was from 7 to 8.
Top Secret Colonials is hosting their annual 24-hour gaming marathon November 5th into 6th, starting next Saturday at 10 a.m. The Cybersecurity Club is raising money for the Charlie Batch Foundation, which provides educational programming for more than 3,800 children ranging from ages 4 to 18 across 22 school districts in Western PA. Students can receive SET credit for the community service category of the transcript. Time is kept by students swiping in and out of the event. Registration is $5 in advance of the event and $10 the day of. Today we woke up to some fall showers and students across campus could be seen in hoodies and carrying umbrellas.
How much longer will the rain stick around today and tomorrow? Bethany Naughton has the forecast.
Thank you, guys. Today's forecast is going to be a high 60 with a low 43. Humidity is going to be 80%, and chance of precipitation is 80%. Definitely not a beautiful day. And our hourly is going to be at 3 p.m. partially cloudy with a 57 degrees. At 6 p.m. it's going to be partially cloudy again with a high of 55 and then at 9 p.m. it's going to be clear with a high of 53, my bad. And then tomorrow's forecast is going to be a high of 55 degrees with a low of 37 degrees. Humidity is going to be 39%. And then chance of precipitation is going to be 0%. Now stay tuned for our 5-day forecast to see if it's going to be a trick or a treat. Sending it back to the desk.
Thanks, Bethany. After the break, find out how new COVID variants are today's Health Minute.
And we find out what numbers are coming so stay tuned at RMU Live.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elma's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
Welcome back to RMU Live.
Let's find out what's happening nationally and in medicine and more.
67-year-old Leslie Jordan has died in a vehicle crash. The actor potentially suffered a medical emergency while driving into a wall in Los Angeles, where he was declared dead at the scene. Jordan was known for his roles in Will and Grace and American Horror Story. His agent said to Variety that Jordan was a mega talent and a joy to work with, and the world is a much darker place without his love and light.
New COVID-19 variants gaining traction around the world, fueling concerns of the winter surge in the U.S. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on what are being called Scrabble variants and whether the updated boosters are effective to protect against them.
In the U.S., the Omicron subvariant BA.5 remains the current cause of most reported cases, but new COVID-19 variants are continuing to spread.
There's all these numbers and letters and all that. Peter Hotez calls them the Scrabble variants because they have these unusual letters now.
Health experts say we can expect a surge with the cooler, drier weather that's to come, but how big of a jump in cases in the U.S. hinges on these new variants, which lumped together accounted for nearly 1 in 3 new COVID-19 infections last week, according to the latest CDC estimates.
So we'll see by mid-November, for example, do they start to take over and become sort of the dominant strain?
Right now, there's a drop in U.S. COVID-19 cases, but
there's always a lull and sort of a downturn before you see some of these significant surges.
The new variants are offshoots of Omicron, so health experts say the updated booster will provide enough protection against them.
While they are different, they're not different enough to say, hey, look, they're just going to evade immunity.
However, many antibody treatments are based on some of the original strains of the coronavirus.
So if you're someone who counts on getting an antibody treatment, that's probably not going to be as effective against these new strains for that reason.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Did you experience a fever, chills, or muscle pain after getting your COVID-19 shot? It could mean you had a better immune response to the vaccine. Researchers analyzed data of more than 900 adults who self-reported their symptoms after receiving the Pfizer or Moderna COVID-19 vaccinations. The participants also submitted a blood sample to test for antibodies. The researchers found that after either vaccine dose, nearly half of participants reported systematic symptoms, and 12% reported only the pain or rash at the injection site, while 40% reported no symptoms at all. Participants that reported side effects tended to have a better antibody response to the vaccines. Researchers say the findings show post-vaccination symptoms are a signal of vaccine effectiveness. But even for the people who had no symptoms at all, the vaccine still elicited robust immune responses. The study was published Friday in the journal JAMA Network Open.
The number of hospitalized children hits a high not seen in nearly 3 years. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, roughly 75% of pediatric hospital beds in the U.S. are filled. About 2/3 of available beds were filled on an average day during the course of the COVID-19 pandemic. Health officials say they've seen high levels of RSV, a respiratory virus, in children's hospitals. Although the number of children with COVID-19 has decreased recently, it still plays a factor. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say close to 900 children were hospitalized with the virus last week.
If you have dry shampoo, you might need to throw it out. A number of brands, including Dove, Nexus, Suave, TIGI, and Tresemme, have been recalled because of potentially elevated levels of a chemical called benzene, which can cause cancer. Unilever just issued a voluntary recall for a long list of products. To be clear, based on an independent health hazard evaluation, even daily exposure to benzene in these recalled products at the levels detected in testing would not be expected to cause adverse health issues. And Unilever hasn't gotten reports of any problems, but the company is recalling them out of an abundance of caution. You'll find a full list of what's been recalled on the FDA's website. This week in Pennsylvania, nearly 11,700 cases of COVID-19 were reported. The positivity rate of tests is between 10 and 15%. The moving average of new hospitalizations this week is about 191. There were 130 deaths due to the virus.
And coming up, we have some RMU COVID numbers, and this week there's only been one reported student in isolation and only one employee in isolation.
Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at this week's weather.
And find out if these comfortable temperatures will stick around here on RMU Live.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other,
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
Mentor.
Actor.
it's time we take a step forward
it's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo!
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Can I get the now bar, please? $1. Have a good one. Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Welcome back to RMU Live.
Stay tuned for the news and sports and the weather. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world of sports. Our sports correspondent, Michael Deemer, has all we need to know from this week, from the Penguins and the Steelers' losses to right here at RMU. Michael, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. The Steelers are in prime time Sunday night as they face the Miami Dolphins in South Florida. Both quarterbacks Tua Tagovailoa and Kenny Pickett returned from their concussions. It was a low-scoring affair throughout, as the Dolphins had a 16-10 lead at the half. The Steelers were looming close into the end zone on the final drive. Pickett rolled out to his left to find a Deontay Johnson. However, the pass was instead found cornerback Noah Igbenogany to seal the game for Miami. Pickett threw for 3 interceptions and a touchdown, good for 257 yards. The Steelers are still in the bottom of the AFC North at 2-5 as the Dolphins improve to 4-3. The Penguins were in action Thursday night at home as they hosted the Los Angeles Kings on Thursday night. The Pens got on the party early as they scored 3 goals in the first period, but they were not done as they scored 3 more en route to a 6-1 blowout. They then traveled to Nationwide Arena in Columbus. The Blue Jackets scored twice in the first period as their offense fizzled. Pittsburgh caught fire, scoring 6 of the next 7 goals in the game for another 6 spot on the board, already their 4th time they have done that this season. Sidney Crosby had 3 points on the night, and on Monday the Black and Gold went west for the first time this season as they played Connor McDavid and the Oilers. Despite a 2-1 lead after 1, Edmonton scored 4 goals in the second period, leading to a 6-3 decision. That would be Pittsburgh's first loss in regulation as they're still atop the Metropolitan Division. To RMU sports, the football team hosted the Aggies of NC A&T. With quarterback Anthony Chickett returning under center, the Colonials still fell again as they are 0-7 for the first time this season. Women's soccer hosted Cleveland State on Saturday for their penultimate game of the season. Despite having a 1-0 lead at the half from Haley Finale's penalty, the Vikings stormed back with 2 goals of their own to steal one out of Moon Township. Men's soccer was a different story, however, as the Colonials scored 2 goals on the Titans thanks to Chase Gilley and Hugo Kadima. The team is vying for a playoff spot as they rank 6th in the Horizon League standings. The struggling volleyball team hosted Milwaukee and Green Bay over the weekend as the team was swept both times again, with their set-winning drought as extended to 19. That's all from sports. We'll send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Michael. Want to know more about what is going on with sports at RMU? Well, if you are, the writers have all you need to know to keep up to date at everything sports related at RMU. To find out more, check out colonialsportsnetwork.com.
The rain has impacted our commutes today as students are adjusting to the changing temperatures.
Will the sun return from out of the clouds this week? Bethany Naughton has the forecast.
Thank you, guys. Let's take a look at our Friday forecast. Wednesday is going to be rainy with the high of 60 degrees with the low of 43. Thursday is going to be partially cloudy with a high of 55 with a low of 37. Friday is going to be 59 with a low of 38 degrees. Saturday is going to be 63 degrees with a low of 41. And then Sunday is going to be 61 with the low of 50. I'm going to let you guys decide if it was a trick or a treat. Also have a happy Halloween and do not eat the razor blades. Sending it back to the desk.
Thanks, Bethany. The first baby bison has been born in the UK's rewilding program, making it the first born in the wild in the UK in thousands of years, according to a news release from Kent Wildlife Trust. But this fluffy baby bison isn't just adorable. It also is an asset in Britain's plan to fight climate change. Two charities, the Kent Wildlife Trust and the Wildwood Trust, are leading a 5-year project to reintroduce European bison into the UK. The charities hope that the animals will function as ecosystem engineers, helping to restore their own natural habitats, increase biodiversity, and combat climate change. The birth was a welcome surprise for the rangers, who did not know that one of the female bison was pregnant when she was released into the wild.
Dog lovers, listen up. Your pup could be a star. Check out some pics of these photogenic pups and ask yourself, is my dog even more photogenic? If you answered a astounding yes, you or your dog could make it up to $10,000 a year. Yappy.com, a website for pet gifts, is hiring a chief fluff officer. The job description all boils down to being cute and taking even cuter pictures while trying out some of the gifts from the website. Just apply by November 18th. There are thousands of applications so far. It seems everyone is positively sure that dog and doggone cutest around.
Gotta love the dogs, right?
Oh, my yes.
Yeah, do you have a dog?
I do not have a dog, but I definitely know a lot of people that would love to apply for this.
Yeah, definitely. So, another thing that everyone could check out is RMU Century Media. There's lots of cool information on there about events happening on campus. Also some cool arts and entertainment information there as well.
Oh yes, of course. And if you want to get involved, definitely check it out. Now, moving on, I know Halloween is coming up this Monday. Do you have any plans for Halloween?
Oh, I am going to be spending the weekend with my boyfriend.
Oh, great.
So I'm very excited about that. We're having matching costumes.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
I'm going to be Piglet and he's going to be Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, how adorable, how adorable. So see, for me, I think I'm going a little bit more horror vibe. I have a couple friends that we're probably going to come together and be like horror villains. So me, I'm trying to pull out a Michael Myers costume. So that should be fun. Just in time for that new Halloween that came out, Halloween Ends.
Yeah,
so.
Very cool, very spooky.
Yes, yes.
And then something that was really cool last week was the Bobby Mo Game Show. They had a special Halloween episode, so if you missed that, that's on RMU Century Media's YouTube and Facebook. So super cool plug. Yes.
And also this week we have the great Rocky Horror Show that RMU is producing. Their new musical. It's coming out this Thursday, tomorrow through Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. They're doing a 10 p.m. show too.
Oh yes.
So plenty of opportunity then. You could see the show, and then late at night too, being released right in that horror mood. Super cool.
Oh yes, for sure.
Alrighty, well that is all for us here on RMU Live. I'm Kaylee Whitlatch.
And I'm Nathan, and for Bethany Naughton and Michael Deemer, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.